Hi, Ryan from Sea to Summit here to talk about what you should consider when choosing an ultralight cook kit for your outdoor adventures. In this video, I'm going to focus on what is often the bulkiest item in your backcountry cook system, the cookware itself. There are a lot of options on the market, so the first thing to consider is what kind of cooking you will do in the backcountry. Some people choose to rely completely on freeze-dried meals and opt for an integrated boil system. Others prefer the variety that cooking simple meals using fresh and dried ingredients brings. There are some other key questions to ask yourself as well, like, are you going solo, or will you be cooking with others? And importantly, how much space do you have to pack your cookware? Before we look at specific cookware designs, it is crucial to understand a bit more about the different types of materials that they are made from. First up is stainless steel. Stainless steel pots are durable and scratch resistant, so they play nice with metal utensils. Pots can even be cleaned with sand if water is scarce. The downside of stainless steel cookware is that it is relatively heavy and less effective at transferring heat. This can mean a higher fuel burn and hot spots leading to not so tasty scorched food and difficult cleanup. Next are titanium pots. Titanium is very strong relative to its weight, allowing for very thin sidewalls, resulting in some of the lightest cook pots out there. The downside is that titanium does not transfer heat evenly, which is why the majority of titanium cook sets that you find on the market are narrow and tall as opposed to wide and short. This shape, though, is good for solo backpackers primarily interested in boiling water. Lastly, you have aluminium. Beyond being ultralight, aluminium has some distinct advantages, which is why it is the most common backcountry cook set material. Aluminium is excellent at conducting and dispersing heat, so designers can build pots with more surface area next to the burner, which makes it practical for doing more than just boiling water. It also means that pots can be made in bigger sizes for small group cooking, without becoming too tall and unstable. The only downside to aluminium is that it is susceptible to dents and scratches. This can be offset by hard anodizing the pot, like this one here, which makes it resistant to scratching, structurally stiffer, and easier to clean. All things considered, for cooking real meals in the outdoors, hard anodized aluminium pots are a pretty stellar option. However, some people think that cooking outdoors is difficult or time-consuming. In fact, with the right cookware, preparing meals can be simple and actually much quicker than waiting for a pouch of freeze-dried food to reconstitute. Let's run through some features to look for in a pot to simplify the cooking process. Pot handles like the ones you have at home are nice and secure, but near impossible to pack away easily. So most handles on outdoor cookware are either removable or pivot in some way to make packing easier. If they are removable, take time to test the mechanism to make sure you're comfortable with it. This handle here secures with an audible click to let you know it is in the lock position. It also locks in the opposite direction to secure the lid and contents in place, a handy feature for transport that does not add any additional weight. To make pouring and straining easier, it is nice that the lid has a strainer built in. This lid has drain holes specifically shaped to let water out, but keep small food items like rice, grains, or pasta remaining inside. The lid also has a small hole on the other side to let air in when you are pouring a large volume of water out, or as a precise spout when you need a fine pour. Make sure your pot lid can be lifted without burning your fingers. The silicone tab on this lid protects your fingers when lifting to check on or stir your meal. The lid keep on the inside solves a common problem, which is, what do I do with the lid when I need to hold the pot and stir at the same time? Snapping the lid keep on the side of the pot keeps the lid out of the dirt and contents of the pot securely where they need to be. Several cookware pieces also come with graduated measurements already on the pot itself. This one has them on the inside and the outside, making adding the correct amount of water much simpler. Doing your dishes in a nearby stream or lake is not an option for responsible leave-no-trace camping. When you have minimal water at hand, hard anodization makes cleanup easier, and its ceramic coating easier still. This is particularly important for camp kitchen fry pans, which are used primarily over high heat. Another detail that makes backcountry life easier is having a large radius curve between the base of the pot and the sidewall that precisely matches the shape of the spoon, so you can easily get out all of the food from hard-to-reach corners. When purchasing camp cookware, you have the option to choose individual pieces or a complete cook set. Buying individual pieces allows you to completely customize what goes inside. As an example, you could store the stove or the fuel bottle inside depending on their shapes and sizes. Buying a complete cook set, on the other hand, is a convenient way to utilize the space inside the pot, as most sets contain mugs and bowls that are specifically designed to nest within. In this case, we have 2 bowls and 2 mugs nested inside. There's even space to add more as you see fit. I pack a small quick-drying towel inside to protect the pot from sharp objects and keep everything from rattling around when packed away. It also doubles as my drying cloth. Space savings. More recent on the market is a concept that takes packability to the next level, flat packing. Sea to Summit pioneered collapsible cookware about 10 years ago. It is my go-to these days as it does everything good backcountry cookware should, with the added benefit of saving heaps of space in my pack or the frame bag of my bikepacking bike. The base is hard anodized aluminium, and the pot shares the same construction details of the cookware we just looked at, so it is fully functional for a broad range of applications, and the weights are comparable as well. What sets it apart, though, is the use of food-grade silicon sidewalls that allow the pot to collapse down to under half its original size. When used with the collapsible dinnerware, like these bowls and mugs, it means your camp kitchen morphs into a flat, easy to pack, easy to stow package. Lastly, if your trips mean you switch between solo, dual, or multi-person, make sure your cookware works as a part of a system which can be expanded as needed. I hope this has helped explain what you should look for in camp kitchenware. For more details, head over to the website or to your local outdoor store to check out everything in person. Happy trails.